Okay, today we are going to talk about the three sciences. So I have invited three teachers to tell us what upper sec sciences are like. Maybe Mr. Hakim, would you like to share with us what is biology like in upper secondary?
Okay. Biology in upper secondary, right? I'm going to frankly say that it is going to be hell. Okay, hell a lot to memorize, hell a lot to understand. Okay, but the important thing here is if you do enjoy learning about not my body but the body as a whole and how it works and functions, when you get back your results, it's going to be heaven.
Wow, so it's heaven? No, hell first, then heaven.
Correct.
Right. Miss Phua, do you have anything to add on? What would physics look like from your perspective?
Physics will look like magic. You see, this bird, why is it flying without touching anything? Come, I show you again. See, it can turn and fly on its own. See, you'll be able to explain all this. Okay, physics is a lot about daily application in life. So, maybe a bit different from biology, but you'll be able to explain everything around you, everything you can see around you.
Miss Kate, you seem to be very interested in what the two have said. Do you have anything to add about chemistry then?
You don't have a choice. So that is pretty much what I say. Chemistry is a compulsory subject in upper sec, but at the end of the day, why is it compulsory? The reason is that if you do not have chemistry, you can't understand physics, you can't understand biology either. We are the best linking subject that actually spans all the subjects, and it actually explains everything in life, from the water you drink to the poison that you take or your medication that you take. Yeah.
Wow, so we have hell and heaven, we have magic, and you have everything you take inside you. Now, maybe we want to ask the next question. What are some interesting topics that we will be learning in upper sec science then? Anyone can start.
Okay, I can start. Some of the interesting topics that you all have covered this year on chemical changes. So we talked about acids and bases as one of the chemical reactions, neutralization. There are other chemical reactions that includes redox reaction, combustion, and all this that you will explore in upper secondary. Beyond that, we can actually also talk about the factors that makes speed of reaction faster and all that. So that is exploring what we have done further in terms of chemistry. We will be explaining things that you can see when you see that you put baking soda into cookies and it rises up and your cookies taste good. Why is that happening? So that is part of chemistry.
For physics, right, you'll be learning interesting topic is electromagnetism. It plays a part in radar satellite, whereby, for example, imagine a helicopter going into an airspace. It is invisible. Okay, so we can make materials in physics such that it will disrupt radar wave and cause the entire helicopter to be invisible. So this is the newest technology that physics is applied in.
Okay, for biology, there are so many interesting things. Okay, because except for plants. Okay, but plants, that's plants. But for the human body,
Mr. Kaiser would disagree.
well, everybody has their specialty, I guess. Okay, so for the human body, you're going to learn so many interesting topics as to, for example, respiration. You will learn what exactly triggers you to breathe. It's not when you breathe unconsciously, is it just because of your brain behaving that way, or is it because of certain chemical composition changes in your blood that causes you to want to breathe, no matter how hard you go and keep your breath in? And furthermore, you've all actually touched on one other interesting topic. You all learned about sex, sure, reproduction. Okay, so we're going to learn more in depth into what exactly constitutes the menstrual cycle, the different parts of the reproductive system, as well as the development of the embryo inside the womb during the female pregnancy. And of course, being biology, we are going to okay, I'm not going to kill people, but we are going to do some dissections of lungs, livers, hearts, eyes, okay, brain, see first okay, but yeah, we are going to do so many kinds of dissection so that you can see firsthand, right, what exactly your organs look like, what exactly the organs, the internals of the organs itself look like. Okay, so that will only be found in upper secondary biology.
One final question. What would the students need in order to do well and get successful in applying for the subject they would like to in upper sec at the end of this year?
Okay, I first. Just now, Mr. Hakim already said, so many things. You need to remember so many things. You see, I only say one topic, right? Yeah. So, you're not ready. So many things means you need to memorize. So many different knowledge. This is very simple. Definition. Definition at most 2 lines. Okay? And formula. Formula and definition come together. Okay, so if you apply formula and definition in the chapters, in each question, you will be able to score. Okay, Mr. Hakim, what do you need?
For science in general, I would say that you definitely need to start practicing already, especially when it comes to your calculation questions. For the Sec 2s, you all know that you are going to study on sound, right, on light. Okay, there are some calculations that you all need to do. Please make sure that you all know how to do them. And as for bio, right, please ensure that you memorize. I'm sorry, too bad, that's life. You have to memorize, okay? Memorize, but memorize in a way that you understand, so that if we do give you application questions, the understanding you get from the memorization, you are able to apply it to a new situation. So especially for my 2R1, okay, we already did the problem-based learning, it should be easy for you already.
Oh, you don't have a choice in chemistry. So I think the message is for chemistry, at the end of the day, if you realize what is the ultimate message that chemists want to send to you, is that chemists are the ultimate laziest people on earth. We do not want to write excessive words. We do not want to memorize excessive formulas and letters for fun. We do things for a reason. So I think that is reasonable for all of us. So think chemistry, work harder, and I think you will exceed your expectations in terms of chemistry.
All right, thank you. Any final words? Mr. Hakim, you seem to have some props that are very interesting. Would you like to show them?
Yes, of course. This is bearing in mind that I cannot show mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see yours.
Yes. So we're going to learn more about this for bio.
So many things. Okay, you need to memorize so many things.
But you have to remember that this is a part of you. Okay? So please remember
it's
that
more than your Sec 2 things. Remember this, okay?
Of course it's more. But you know when it comes to sexual reproduction, more is better.
Hello students, we're here today to tell you a little bit more about the differences between upper sec science and lower sec science. So in order to tell you more about this, you need to hear from the bio teacher and the physics teacher. So bio teacher.
Okay, so for upper sec bio, you will learn more interesting topics and be prepared for more content. Okay, so reproduction doesn't only happen in men, but in plants too. So if you guys want to learn more about reproduction in plants, these are some of the topics that will be covering in upper sec. Right? There are also topics like nervous system, which we never touched on in lower sec. So we do sometimes bring in the eyeball for you to dissect and see. So if you guys are interested in these topics, then you should be taking biology at upper sec. But please be prepared for more content.
Yeah. So now we've heard about the bio. Let's see what the physics side has for you.
So for physics, of course, we will not be doing anything of the reproduction related. But if you are interested in, say, making a rocket, that is quite likely possible. No, just kidding. For physics, you will be actually getting to know in-depth concepts of what you have touched on in lower sec. So such as thermophysics and electricity. Of course, new challenges and new exciting topics coming up include electromagnetism, as well as other interesting topics such as kinematics as well.
Now that you know some of the content that's in store for you in upper sec, maybe we should hear about some of the skills that you need to do well in each area. Let's start with bio.
So for biology, it's definitely a lot more things to memorize. I think with the current topics that you already have in lower sec, you know that there's a lot of things that you have to memorize. But you also know that if you memorize with understanding, it is a lot more, it's going to be so much easier for you. So the skills that you need would be to really understand the concepts and then to be very hardworking to memorize these content, this extra content that will be given to you at upper sec bio.
Well, for physics, thank goodness there's no paragraphs after paragraphs, and your textbook for physics is not that thick as compared to bio. But still, there will be plenty of modeling situations where you are required to analyze and calculate, as well as be able to explain. So we expect your understanding of the physics concepts to be rock solid, so that you'll be able to understand and apply and be able to explain well how the certain real life situation in terms of physics work.
Okay. Now that you've heard about what is required for both physics and bio, the main thing we need you to do is think about it, as well as together with what you want to do in the future after you finish O-levels. What do you want to study when you go to the poly or the university? That will actually help you as well to decide between physics and bio. Done it!
That's right, make the right choice.